So, a couple people were upset that on Nexus Mods, which is one of the largest mod distributors for Bethesda games and other games, published a mod that had removed all the pride flags in the recent Spider-Man game. From what I understand, the Spider-Man game had quite a few pride flags all throughout New York. New York, of course, is the birthplace of the pride flag. And some people found it gratuitous, so they found a way to change all the pride flags in Manhattan in this video game to American flags, which upset some people. The mere existence of such a mod, of such a preference, obviously could only cater to the most variantly homophobic people on the planet. And, of course, anyone questioning, well, the mod was banned. Anyone questioning that the mod was banned was also banned. And somebody saying that the thing doesn't work on Telegram. I'm watching it right now. I see the feed, so I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry. If that doesn't work, then I'll have to find something else. The issue is that while this mod was banned and everybody made a giant fuss of it, the real irony was that the mod merely enabled a single boolean in the configuration of the game. It just enabled the Middle Eastern localization. It removed a huge amount. I think there was one pride mural left somewhere on one of the walls, but the overwhelming majority of the pride flags throughout the game were changed to American flags as part of Middle Eastern localization to help the game sell and perform better in Arab countries, and I assume also Russia and China. So while they threw a stink at this person for porting this extension over to Western players, the real blame lies at Bethesda, who, of course, every year during July, the entirety of July, the little Bethesda logo on Twitter and other platforms changes to a pride flag for all the regions except China, the Middle East, and Russia, where people are not afraid to say they don't want to see that. Very interesting. Similarly, and another gigantic W for the trans community, the federal government, the Federal Appeals Court in the United States, has officially ruled that being transgender is a disability, and therefore earns the protection of the Americans with Disabilities Act, the ADA, which means that they cannot be discriminated against by their workplace for their gender dysphoria. And transness must be adequately supplied for, what's the word? Accommodated. Adequate accommodations must be given to people suffering from transgenderdom and gender dysphoria. Presumably that means gender-neutral bathrooms. I really don't know what the fuck that means. But they can't be fired for being trans is the main takeaway. Huge win for trans people, as it says there, by Devin Cole. By the way, dilation stations, maybe. That's fair. How much is a plastic dilator, really? And you can put your company logo on it. You can put your Bethesda logo on the dilator, make it rainbow flag overlaid, and hand them out to anyone who needs a quick expression of their wound. Big win. Big win for school teachers. For all the kindergartens across the world celebrate as their trans teachers are protected and their trans storytellers are protected. By the way, the funny thing is when I try to open this article just on the CNN website, it crashes Firefox. I don't know what the fuck they have on their page to make it load so shittily, but it legit crashes it. The only way I could have this on stream was to archive it first and then show the archive instead. I'll never get over, by the way. I understand that it's supposed to be like the boy and girl colors and they're mirrored and it's like a blend, a gradient. It looks to me like a pus-filled wound. And some like the blue is necrotic, then you have the fleshy color, and then you have like this cream in the middle, and it really is just the most repugnant fucking flag I've ever seen. It's worse than the Confederation of Mountain Peoples in the Caucasus. That's a terrible flag, but this is somehow worse. In this segment, it's over. Okay, whatever. In uplifting news, American First I don't know what to call him, a Groiper general he's referred to, Latino Zoomer, has been arrested. And we have to give it up to this guy. His name is Alejandro something. I have it in my notes here. Oh, it just says Alejandro, which is the name of a song by Gwen Stefani. Alejandro Valles, I looked it up and now I can't pronounce it. Valles. He has been arrested. Latino Zoomer, member of America First, has been arrested for possession of child pornography, which is a bit of an L. But we do have to give it up to Alejandro for being for sacrificing himself. Literally in the last minute, the news came out that he was arrested, saving the stream from being entirely about trannies and Ralph. So big ups to my boy Alejandro for getting arrested, so I can mention something a little bit more normal, I guess. I really don't know how to phrase that. FBI says graduate of San Antonio area high school made credible threats of mass violence against conservative group. And actually, you know what? I think what it was, based on this, is that he was arrested because of this swatting threat or violent threat. And then he was arrested. They searched his device and then they found child pornography on it. In a criminal complaint affidavit, the FBI linked Velasquez to the extremist incel movement, short for involuntary celibate online groups of mostly men who believe they can't enter into sexual relationships. The FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force in San Antonio, he uses the online names Latino Zoomer and Mestizo Zoomer, and his social media posts sounded similar to those of Elliot Rogers, an incel follower. And the follower of what? Incels? So like an incel Moloch that they follow? Who killed 6 people and injured more than a dozen more in California in 2014. Let's see. And here is posted by my boy Jimothy. What was my last name for? Oh, Jimothy Medicare. I just call him that. I was watching a restream of not a restream, but like a clip of one of my streams, and I have the subtitles on because I watch everything in 2x with subtitles because I talk too slow for my own preference. And I'm reading the subtitles, and I called Jimothy Medicare like that, and it's subtitled as Jimothy Medicare, like Ralph says, and that made me laugh. But he says, hey, if it's the leader of America First, Nick Fuentes, hanging out with the recently arrested and accused child porn enthusiast turned terrorist Latino Zoomer, and I get an optics check. And they're doing like the ISIS finger salute, which is considered a hate meme in Europe. If you didn't know, if you didn't watch that video I did about hate memes. And somebody posted this clip, which I also thought was funny.
Yeah, Latino Zoomer. It does seem like he's down bad, doesn't he? Poor guy.
Poor guy. He is pretty at this moment in time, Latino Zoomer is in fact down bad. If he's a poor guy or not, I'll leave up to the viewer discretion. And here we have a Tranch update requested by Temperance, or not by Temperance, but by, I think, 01. Can't remember. Let me look it up. I feel bad. Now that I've said this, I don't know who. Oh, yeah, 01, of course. I didn't know. I'm not forgetful. The Tranch has had some mishaps with their buildings, with their Tranch. Their Tranch is down bad. A pipe has busted. I believe that they set up their plumbing themselves to save money. And now that the pipes are busting, they need help to repair them. So they're asking for $10,000. And they are encouraging people to donate more than $20,000 so that you can enter into a raffle to win a handmade meat cleaver. That is right. If you would like to win a handmade meat cleaver, you can go ahead and enter into this raffle. And there's actually a really high-res image of the meat cleaver that I can pull up to show you exactly what you're in the winnings for here. Now, I am not a metal worker. I'm not a smith. I'm not a knife maker. But I know a badass looking meat cleaver when I see one. And if you get this, if you donate $20 to the Tranch to fix their pipes, and you win this meat cleaver, you'll know every time you you cut meat that you're using a sanitary, safe, well-made tool and are supporting trans people everywhere. I'm tempted. There's a joke. There's some kind of joke to make, and there being a transgender ranch, and a meat cleaver. There's some joke there. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. I may be banned on the spot for summoning those words. But I'll throw them out there, these concepts into the ether, and we'll let everybody... Oh, you guys can't see it. Sorry, I'm not on my A game. I'm a little bit distracted this week. Here it is. Here's the meat cleaver. Show the JPEG. Okay, no. I know you need to see the picture. I'm just off in my own little world right now. Looks like a horror movie prop. Yeah. A little bit small for that, though. Just big enough for for specific other functions, though. All right. Oh, and somebody there among this, by the way. I would like to point out that they actually made a little bit of money. They got 37 donations, $2,000. God, there's so much money to be made in being trans. I have a vague preponderance for everybody in chat. If you're a lawyer, let me know this. What are the odds of being arrested for fraud for setting up a fake trans Sona and then making a GoFundMe for some bullshit trans cause and setting a lofty goal of like 10,000 Canadian dollars? If I made like 90,000 Canadian dollars doing this for some bullshit, is that illegal? Do I have to cut off my dick to make $90,000 from generous trans donators on the internet? Zero risk. 100% and 0%. I'm getting a lot of mixed messages here from chat. Trune out? That's not truning out. That's the point. Is that it's just the trans Sona that nobody knows about that injects itself into the trans community and then makes a GoFundMe anonymously for various contrived reasons. For instance, I said my parents won't let me transition, and I am very sad about this, and I need $90,000 for new homes. And then is that fraud, chat? I'm asking. It's a 47% chance. Okay, you're telling me that I won't get prosecuted. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, is that illegal? Time to commit jurors to the asylum. Okay, and then there's this fan art which I was requested to show off. This is Crevice Skeasley. This is fan art from the forum, and it has a memorable quote by the oh god, what's his name? Trans Salamander, which I'll read. I really don't know what it is about pussy juices, but if you push a pair of underwear too far, like say during a multi-day road trip a couple of months ago, no amount of washing will ever fully fix it. Wear it for like 5 minutes and it all comes back instantly. File this under strangest things to get powerful gender euphoria from. No, I'm not like an expert on women. I'm sure many of you would already assume that about me, but I can't imagine that too many women feel feminine when they reek of vagina, just like in general. Like if they have some kind of yeast infection and people can smell it, I don't think that makes them feel very feminine. I think that makes them feel bad, actually. So I don't know. I don't know. Whenever I get challenged with things like this, I'll get like a transphobic thought, and this is important. When you're a bigot in rehabilitation, you have to recognize your transphobia as it emerges, and it's like, am I being trans? Because maybe he does feel bad about it. Like, oh no, I have a yeast infection type smell about me because I've been wearing the same clothes for too long. And maybe I feel bad about that, but I also feel gender euphoric because I feel bad about something other, natal women might feel bad about. And that's the kind of euphoria. It's an avant-garde thing that can only be expressed in the beautiful minds of our fellow women out there who have these lived experiences, as they say. It's because of intestinal discharge. Maybe. When are we gonna start using pig parts to recreate organs? I feel like that's in the near future. I feel like if they offered surgeries that could transplant a pig vagina onto you, that would be a popular option. I think people would do that. I don't know too much about pigs, but it can't be that different. I think people would take that. Already happens. Wonderful. I didn't want to know that. Pig parts to recreate Ethan Ralph, like resurrect him like a Frankenstein monster. All right, I'm gonna kick all you off at this point. I apologize. This might be a short stream. If you're disinterested, you can already leave because this is probably going to be an hour long. I now want to talk about specific people, and I will not be able to do so on YouTube because those people are actually watching my streams right now and are actively waiting to report it. So if you're on YouTube, watch.maddie.live. And I will show the Odyssey chat on stream. And I'll see you all there. Bye-bye.